I really had a productive day today, and I wanted to make a quick video and speak my mind while it's still fresh in my memory, and talk real quick to everyone, not just the males but the females also, about starting a side hustle based off of memories of failed relationships. So today's side hustle video, even though I made a video talking about I was going to make a really quick review, in which I will very, very soon, and I have to repent and apologize to everyone because in my one of my recent past videos that I made, I did say that the next video was going to be a review about the Sony a7 III digital camera that I do have, that I really use. I use it maybe 2 or 3 times for church, but that was pretty much it. So I'm hoping in the video following this one, I will give a quick review about the Sony a7 III camera, which is still selling for the full retail price, and I'll give a review about that and why I recommend it for your YouTube vlogging side hustle as a really, really important investment that digital content creators need to make. But in this video, I want to talk real quick about using the memories of failed relationships, personal relationships. I'm not talking about business relationships. I'm talking about failed personal relationships and the memories of that, in using that as subliminal motivation to start a side hustle. You know, believe it or not, I'm giving you food for thought today, and this is just down to earth stuff. Failed personal relationships can actually be a good thing. You think when you're young that when you constantly get rejected, it's a bad thing. Something's wrong with you. That's not the case. It's because we are naive to life and we're just learning. So we look at rejection as something is wrong with me. What's wrong with me? Why don't I fit in? I mean, I dress nice. I got a nice attitude, or I might have the b-boy attitude that the girls like. What's wrong with me? Here's one. I wear a good smelling cologne. Why aren't the girls just liking me? Or for the ladies, I dress nice. I got, nice character. I know how to treat a guy, but I just can't seem to keep one. What's wrong with me? Or I'm dating this really nice guy, but he doesn't want to marry me. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Here's a couple of things to think about why that relationship from the past failed. Number one, you're wet behind the ears. You are absolutely naive. So your feelings are vested in the moment while you're young. You're thinking the person that you're dating or the person that you're interested in is the one for you. But because you don't have any life experience and you're wet behind the ears, that's one of many reasons why that potential relationship or that interest actually vanished into thin air like nothing ever happened. But you're probably thinking in the moment, something is wrong with me. No, you were going through learning stages in the early part of your life, and you can't completely put everything together like a puzzle. And because that relationship failed or that interest vanished virtually into thin air, that was a learning lesson for you to develop some thick skin up here to apply down the road in life to prosper. Now you're probably wondering, how does that apply to side hustle entrepreneurship? The lessons that you learn back there helps you to develop a thick skin in profiting from rejection today. So therefore you have the thick skin to weather the trying times after you finally decide that I'm going to take the entrepreneurial approach to side hustle seriously, to the point of what I went through back there was training. That was basic, indirect, subliminal training for me to weather with a thick mental skin up here today for side hustle entrepreneurship. It's not because there was something wrong with you. It's not because there was you don't fit in. It's because you are a peculiar person, and the rejection that you endured back there was training you without your knowledge to go through what's up the road, which was entrepreneurship. The thing was that you didn't know that you were about to, or decided was going to decide to take the entrepreneurial journey seriously, to the point whereas you were going to use those past experiences back there to go through what you're going through today. That's some deep stuff. That's something to really, really think about. Let me give you a couple of my experiences, and I'm not going to bore you, but I'm just going to give you some real stuff. I once went through a rejection point early in my life, and this one really, really hit me hard. I was, no fluff. I was in high school back in the 90s, and I was interested in this one particular female who I thought, I'm wet behind the ears. Today, if I see her, I'll just ignore and keep going, but it was really something that hurt me back in the day. I thought she was really a nice person and, somebody that I could take interest in. I had just moved out of Brooklyn. I moved to Wilmington, Delaware, and was going to this high school and was interested. I'm not going to say any names, to this one particular female. And I thought, maybe I'll see if I could make something with her. Long story short, because her friends didn't like me, and I was straight out of Brooklyn at the time, I was a little bit more slender. I had gold teeth in my mouth, and I had this part going all the way back here. And I wore a lot of, fashionable clothing, preferably Polo, Ralph Lauren, which I still do today. I'm still a low head, but I don't wear low as much as I used to. But I have the treasure chest of low packed away. Anyways, so I, took interest in this female. She took interest in me too, and she ended up putting me out of her house one day. She thought I forgot. She's probably watching this video in secret. She used to live with her Aunt Debbie on 4th Street in Wilmington. She puts me out one day, and she was like, my friends don't like you. I don't think she told me that at the time that I was at her house when she lived with her Aunt Debbie, but she was like, at the time she was telling me like, my Aunt Debbie doesn't like you. I was like, okay, I don't know why, but shortly after she told me that, I can't remember if she told me before or after, but I'm gonna assume that she told me before she put me out. She's like, my Aunt Debbie don't like you, this, that, and the third, and she pulled a move on me. And then after she pulled the move, and I'm assuming after she pulled the move, she told me that her Aunt Debbie doesn't like me. She put me out of her house. She told me to leave, and I left. But after that, she I can't remember the chronological order of events, but she ended up messing around with my friend. And I was young and naive, and I didn't know anything about, try to get the girl back and try to get her interest again. I was young. I didn't know anything about life, and I was truly hurt because I hear her. I don't know completely why this girl switched up on me. So I'm trying to get the girl back, and in the process, I had problems with my parents. I ended up getting kicked out of my house. I got put out and I got put out, get out, like the honeymooners, Ralph Cram, like what's his name, Ralph Cramden telling Norton, get out, get out. So I was put out, and I had to move into the YMCA in Wilmington. And this is back in 1997. I got put out the house, and I was a little bad boy back then. You know, I was put out for a couple of months. Eventually, my parents had let me back in, and I lived at room 539 at the YMCA off of Delaware Avenue, down the block from former Rocco's Applied Card System and formerly Chase Bank, which was at 801 Delaware Avenue, which is now Capital One. This was back in 1997, and I used to work across the street from the Y as a temp employee for First USA Bank. So at the time I was living at the Y, I was trying to get the girl back, and the girl had one of her friends, her female friends, call me back and threaten me. They was calling me cornball and calling me all kinds of names and this, that, and the third. And I guess after this, around this time, I can't completely remember, the girl that I had interest in messed around with one of my friends, and I was just like, yo, I caught her sitting on his lap when I walked into the high school cafeteria one day, and she had on this t-shirt with black, she had on a white t-shirt with black letters that said flirt on it. She thought I forgot all of this, but I didn't forget. I remember. But we were young, and I was naive, and here I am thinking something's wrong with me. What is wrong with me? Why is she rejecting me, and why did she do all of this? Because her friends didn't. She genuinely was interested in me. She liked me, and she liked my little New York attitude at the time, and yada, yada, yada. But because her friends got in her head, and because she had allegedly messed around behind my back with my friend, that clouded her train of thought. And because her friends didn't like me, I think she had let me know in a QT that her friends don't like me. And then she came out straight up to my face and told me her aunt Debbie don't like me. So I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? I'm still trying to get the girl back while living at the YMCA. She let me know that, you know, and through her friend, I was a cornball, and they were threatening me and all of this other stuff. And, you know, just to leave her alone, just literally forget she exists. So from that point, I think I had gotten an email or something from her, one of her ex-boyfriends or some guy. Oh, I know what it was. A guy named Art. She had a baby by. And that's what it was. A guy named Art. She had ended up having a baby by him. And at that point, I was like, yo, she got a kid. I was like, yo, forget it. I'm not taking no woman seriously. Or no, she wasn't a woman. She was a female, a little girl in a grown woman's body. But I'm not taking no female seriously that got a baby by somebody. I just can't do it. I can't get with nobody that got a kid by somebody else. I can't take nobody serious. I tried once after that to take a female seriously that had a kid by somebody, but that didn't work out either. I'll say that for another video. But you know, I was just like, after that point, she had a kid by somebody. I was like, forget her. So here I am thinking something's wrong with me. I'm getting rejected, and she went even further than that. After rejecting me, threatening me. Indirectly. I couldn't prove it was her, but it was coming from her. So fast forward from 1997 to 2007. 2007, I got a Volkswagen GTI. It was a two-door, six-cylinder, 2.8 liter VR6. I mean, you could hear the car loud. It was very attractive sound. Nice looking car. I got a sunroof, leather seats, all that, stick shift. So I'm driving down the east side of Wilmington, standing outside of a church. I forget what day it was, but I'm not going to say who the preacher of the church is, even though I still remember that. And there she was. I'm driving past. I didn't know anything. It was just you standing right there. I was in the left lane. We made eye contact. I didn't wave to her. I didn't say anything. She saw me. I saw her, and I kept going. This was after she rejected me. I saw her 10 years later. By that time, I had moved back to Wilmington from South Florida. And in 2006, I took a trip to Santa Barbara, California, with a layover in LAX at Los Angeles. And my bags got stuck, and my bags was up in the, well, actually, no, I got stuck, correction, at LAX virtually in the middle of the night. My bags were up in the air on a shuttle plane heading to Santa Barbara, on the plane without me, and I'm stuck in Los Angeles all by myself in the middle of the night because they don't have my bags. I missed the flight to Santa Barbara. So now instead of picking up my rental in Los Angeles, I got to now pick up my rental. I mean, instead of picking up the rental in Santa Barbara, I got to pick up my rental now in Los Angeles. And mind you, they don't have the economy car that I ordered, so I got a free upgrade to the SUV. Ended up driving from Los Angeles, through the mountains and everything in the middle of the night, from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara, which is like a 2-hour plus drive. And I was going through California from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara all by myself. So she got word that I went to California on this plane because one of our mutual friends that we went to high school with ended up allegedly telling her, I don't know for sure, I have to say allegedly telling her on a QT that your boy Shiloh was out here in California all by himself. He out here getting money, talking about he going to some affiliate marketing meeting. So she got word of that allegedly, and in 2007, after she saw the new Volkswagen, oh, guess what? Now I get a MySpace message from one of my random stranger MySpace friends, and this message says, I wasn't going to say anything, but didn't you used to drive a black Jetta? Yeah. I knew who it was because all I had to do was look at the MySpace profile and the school information, and I just knew who it was. And I was like, at the time, all these years, I was so hurt by this one female. I really thought less of myself until the Lord had mercy on my life. And to this day, I thank him for allowing me to breathe. I finally got over it. Picked myself up. God's mercy first, allowing me to breathe. By God's permission, I'm breathing today. With God's help first, picked myself up. He helped me to get this far today. So thank you, Lord Jesus. But all these years, I was hurt because of this one female's rejection. And I actually thought less of myself. I doubted myself. I went through a lot of stuff up here. Today, I'm over it. And I learned to see rejection as subliminal fuel to prosper, and put myself, by God's mercy, I'm breathing today. Wilmington University, graduated with a degree in marketing, with a degree doing something that I love to do. Graduated, thank you, Lord, with a 3.5 GPA, and I was on the dean's list 3 times. I made it, before I graduated, I would hit the dean's list again for the 3rd time. On the way out the door to graduation, hit the dean's list the 3rd time. Graduated with a 3.5 GPA and a certificate in human resource management, along with my bachelor's degree. So from there, I really got serious and buckled down about this side hustle stuff in affiliate marketing. And I learned to use rejection, not just from this female, but rejection in life and overall from failed personal relationships as subliminal fuel to prosper in entrepreneurship. And most importantly, to stay consistent and to be willing to change the history of my human thought process and to share this motivation with you. Because the last thing a person that rejected you from the past wants to know is that you're doing good without them. And what I thought was the end of the world, because this one particular female rejected me, she threatened me, and then she had the nerve to come running back years later because she saw me in a Volkswagen, not once, twice. She saw me in a nice car twice. The first time she didn't say anything. She looked at me. I turned around and drove away from her. The second time, she didn't say anything. I kept driving. I don't make no contact because I already knew it was going to be nothing. There's nothing. There could never be anything between us. Do I have to forgive her? Yes, absolutely. Do I have to speak to this person? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but if I see this person within reaching distance or talking distance, chances are today I'm going to turn around and walk away, because I have to keep peace within myself. But I also learned that the rejection that I endured back there, which I thought was the end of the world for me, it was actually a good thing. It was also the bullet she helped me to dodge, and the bullet was her. And also, while I'm on the term of the bullet, let me tell y'all this. When a person comes back the second time around and they try to come back and trying to speak after they reject you, you do not give that person a chance. I don't care how much feelings you had for this person. You just thought this person was your soulmate. Oh, you can't live without them. Let me tell you something. Everybody is the same, including me. I am the same like everybody on the face of this planet. I say everybody's the same, including me. Why? Because we, including me, I'm the same like everybody else. We are all, read my list. Get me good now. Get me good. We are all expendable. I'm not sorry. I'm not repenting to you for saying that. Let me say this again. Get me good now. Are you listening? We are all expendable, including me. What does expendable mean? We can all be replaced with someone else. There's someone else out there better. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? Am I right, I say? So don't chase nobody, because when that person comes back the second time around and they're trying to speak, now they see you doing good without them, you're doing much better. After they reject you, if you go back to that person and give them a second chance, you are giving them up here and in here, you're giving that person the extra bullet for their gun. Get me good. You're giving that person the extra bullet for their gun. They missed you with the first shot around. Do not even speak to that person. They hate to see you getting sharp on them. They hate to see you doing good. They hate to see that you're being acknowledged by others. And they hate to know that you're wearing good smelling cologne. Yes, sir. And if you know me personally, yeah, if you're watching this video, you know me personally. You know my stilo. You know I stay with that. I got something on me right now, but I ain't even gonna put it on the camera. I stay with that. And I don't spend money on no stuff, no cheap, watered down. I don't get no cheap Charlie stuff. I don't always spend top dollar on my little collection, but I spend good money, and I like to buy my stuff mostly in, armies of cologne. So I drop good money. On most occasions, I drop really, really good money. That's a whole different video for a whole different time. But you know me, I like to get sharp. I like to wear good smelling cologne. I strive to watch the way that I treat people, despite me dealing with countless rejection from the past. Rejection, I have endured many times, so I'm really grateful that I endured this specific type of rejection from this female from the past, because it helped to develop a thick skin despite all of the hurt that I went through for many, many, many years. I'm grateful that I went through this today, and I'm pretty sure that she's watching this video in secret. She didn't do the damage she thought she did. She did it only for a season. But I thank the Lord. Thank him. You know, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I still have a chance. And I have a chance to not only share the inspiration with you about using past failed relationships to start a business and to prosper in side hustle entrepreneurship, but that I also have a chance to be saved. And that right there alone will tear up the spirit of a person who rejected you, that you're still breathing, you still have a chance to be saved. Yes, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ with no shame. So, with that said, I just wanted to let y'all know that past failed relationships, it's not the end of the world. You look at that as subliminal motivation, using that negativity to start a side hustle. Because when someone does you wrong, or they say something about you, or they just don't believe in you, don't you feel like you have something to prove? You feel like you want to prove something to people? Get out of the mind that you're proving something to people. Don't go out of your way to prove a point to people or to show them that you're worth it. Use those bottled up feelings to start a side hustle. Do it because you want to do it, because it's what's going to benefit you in terms of growing entrepreneurially in here and growing in here in your heart. Because entrepreneurship is more than just, okay, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to make money. No. This is not only a way of life, but it's also a change. You have to be willing to change. It changes. It just changes your lifestyle, changes your thinking. Side hustles and using the negativity from past failed relationships, it changes the history of your human thought process. And by the way, shout out to Sarah Poppity at the Wills office in Wilmington, Delaware. You the man. You the man. Yes, Sarah, I'm talking to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cyril Poppity, he's really a good guy. I like him very much, and I always give him the hit. I just shout out when on most occasions when I use that history of human thought process. I learned that from him. So Cyril, salute. Hope you're doing good, and enough respect to you. He's the head of the Wills office down here in Wilmington, Delaware. So he's really, really a good guy. He's always positive and energetic. He's always happy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Cyril, enough respect to you, brother. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for now. Don't think it's the end of the world if somebody, rejects you from back in the day, or if you're still going through rejection, whether it's in dating or personal relationships with family members. Even you can get rejected by your own family because you're just too different. It's like with my family, among my aunts and cousins and whatnot, I feel rejected. But guess what? It's a good thing, because whatever feelings they carried against me from way back in the Booney era, or Boone, from years and years and years ago, whatever negative feelings they have towards me today, I use that in a positive way, because it developed a thick skin in me to prosper and to move forward in entrepreneurship. It's more a person hates, the more I use that as a motivational fuel to make money. I got a little rap. Hate makes the mental growth stagnate. When they contemplate, let it increase your financial weight. Checkmate. Yeah, the boy can rap too, I can really, really get into some strong bars, But that will be Maybe, just maybe, a little bit down the road. But today, I'm just so grateful that I went through the pain back there. I went through so much stuff, man. I got so many stories about rejection. I tell you what, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna condense this one. I once dated a female. I ain't gonna say her full name because she threatened to take me to court for no reason. All the way back there, she said she was just joking around, but I know she was dead serious. Her name is I'm gonna say Neo. I dated this female back in 2009 named Neo. She told me she was from a certain place, but after I did some digging on her, I'd come to find out she's actually originally from Chester. And I'm like, for real? I'm glad she dumped me. Anyways, I dated Neo briefly. She tried to play me for a fool, and I willingly played the fool because I wanted her to show me her hand. So when I was like, yo, let's do a business together, let's do this internet thing together, she was like, nah. It's like, all right. Then I tell her one night, and she doesn't know this to this day, that I told her that I asked her, what is she doing or something like that. She said she was in the bed sleeping. So I hopped a stranger's truck. I got into a stranger's vehicle and offered to pay him because I had walked to, at the time I was drinking, I walked to Steve's liquor store over in Newport to get something to drink, and I was feeling some kind of way. I thought she was lying, so I offered to pay this stranger to take me to her house where she was living with her brother at the time. And her brother that she was living with normally lets her park her vehicle outside of the garage. So I showed up, I want to assume around 1:30 in the morning, we showed up at her house. Her car wasn't there, so I knew she was lying. She said she was in the bed asleep. I was going to go over there and surprise her, but I had a feeling she was lying. She wasn't there, but she said she was in the bed asleep at her brother's house. Never said nothing. To this day, she don't even know that I found out. Long story short, right before she dumped me, I assumed that she went and saw one of her ex-boyfriends in Georgia named David. So after she gets back from Georgia, if I got my memory and my cards right, she took me to TGI Fridays out on Route 13. So she so-called herself being a little classy, right? Because she was a little corporate chick. She got her little bachelor's degree from University of Delaware. She thought she was something, but she ain't nothing. Just let her play herself like a fool. So she takes me to TGI Fridays on Route 13. She pays for everything. She always offers to pay for everything. I'm like, oh, I got money. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be the man treating the woman. She's like, no, all right, I'll pay for everything. So at the time, I was still drinking alcohol. I ordered whatever. She said, get whatever you want. I got ordered whatever I wanted and ordered a strawberry daiquiri with 180 proof in it. So we're sitting there talking and this, that, and the third. And she tells me, I already knew that she was going to dump me because she let me on her laptop a while back, and I saw in there she was still talking to her ex, one of her other exes that she used to live with in Philadelphia. His name is Brant. And she was like, oh, when we, make love, this, that, and the third, and all this other stuff, and I miss your, if I have my memory straight, I think she may have said, I miss your daughter, Morgie. His daughter's name was Morgan, but she wrote Morgie, 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 and I wasn't supposed to know all of this. She was downstairs at her brother's house cooking me dinner while I was upstairs parlaying in her bedroom on her laptop, because she said I could go on her laptop and just chill. So I'm on my Facebook. I'm trying to go on Facebook, but she left her Facebook account logged in. And I'm like, I'm reading this, and I'm not supposed to be reading it, but I never said nothing to her. To this day, she don't know. Now that we broke up about 14 years ago, I don't care if she sees this video. I really don't care because she's nothing anyways. So she takes me out to dinner, TGI Fridays, dumps me, and she says, before she dumps me, she says, I'm in love with someone else, or did she say, I can't remember, she said, I'm in love with someone else, I'm going back to the past, or I'm going back to the past, I'm in love with someone else. I can't remember the order in which she used, but she let me know, I'm in love with someone else, I'm going back to the past. You know what my reaction was? Get me good now. I sat there and was absolutely drop dead quiet. I'm in love with someone else, I'm going back to the past. I didn't say why, I didn't say nothing, I just got quiet. Because I already knew it was coming. Yeah. I learned from rejection, and I use that as fuel to, excuse me, I use that as fuel to help me to lose weight. I was doing a weight loss transformation at the time with help from a virtual billionaire. Yeah, a real financial billionaire, a guy from Colorado, but I ain't gonna drop his name. He know who he is. And I was getting early sponsorship and financial backing from a billionaire from Colorado. At the time, she was dumping me. He didn't give no reaction. I'm like, yo, that's weird. He must have known. Yeah, I knew. I just didn't tell him. So I'm sitting there eating food and this, that, and third, just still playing cool. And I know she's probably thinking like, yo, I didn't get no reaction that I thought I was going to get out of him. I already knew. I had already conditioned myself. I had already knew. So there was no reason for me to give a reaction. Even if I didn't know, I was still determined. She's not getting the reaction she's looking for. Because I'm going to take her rejection and her negativity, and by him blessing me to breathe, I was determined to do that 26.2 mile marathon, and I did it. By him allowing me to breathe to complete the 26.2 mile marathon. I took her rejection and finished the 26.2 miles in downtown Colorado in 2009. With the billionaire's financial help to get me to and from Colorado, he paid for everything. And I mean everything. Everything. Airfare, hotel, free suit, Polo Ralph Lauren loafers. I was so good. I was so good. I mean, good. Did I get low? No, I didn't get Polo Ralph Lauren loafers at the time. I got a pair of Allen Edmonds shoes. Allen Edmonds loafers, correction. And then when I got flown to Texas, that's when I got the free Polo Ralph Lauren loafer, the leather loafers, the drivers. Yeah, I had to get my facts straight. But I used her negativity and her rejection and finished 26.2 miles. See? I'm the wrong one today a person wants to reject, because I will use you. I will use you to not only make money, I will use you as motivation. I will use what you do to profit off of you, not just in the moment, but I will use you passively up here for years to come. And you can't do nothing to me. You can't do nothing. You can't say nothing to me. You can't step to me. Oh, you're doing good. I like that new car. Oh, I like your clothes. I like all of that. Oh, I see you losing weight. You can't say nothing. So I thank all of the people from the past who rejected me, because while I was hurt at the time, I grew. I would never, ever, today, I would never give an ex or anyone that I was interested in, no female from the past, a second chance. Never. Because my thinking changed. I raised the bar. You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather remain an unmarried man with no kids than to get with somebody that doesn't value me for me. I would be just fine alone. A lonely, rich old man. And you know what? I will not settle. I will not beg. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how perky this is. I don't care how pretty your toes are. I don't care how sweet your skin is. I don't care how many college degrees you got. I just don't care. You do me dirty, I have to forgive you. I don't have to be friends with you. I still have to get understanding if I have to speak to you under certain occasions. But me personally, I don't want to see you. I don't want to speak to you. I'll use what you did as a memory to build my business, to keep moving forward, to believe in myself. But I would never give you a chance ever again. But if I were to see you in danger, if I saw you getting ready to get hit by a car, I'm going to go out there and help save your life. That I will do. And then, I don't know, maybe my heart will bend from there. I don't know. But if I saw somebody that did me wrong and they were about to be hit by a car or something was happening to them, chances are I would jump in and help or defend that person. Even if I saw that person being robbed that did me wrong, chances are I would probably jump in and defend that person and help them, because that's just the kind of person I am. But most people have always rejected me, including females. And just in case you're wondering, no homo, no fruity Fruit Loop in here. All you fruity men, you need to get it out your head. You ain't getting me. And no homo. No. That ain't happening, Captain. I'd rather be by myself, childless and unmarried, before I go another route with another man. Heck no. Ain't no homo here. Would I date again? Probably not. Because I've been so content with using rejection and my daily trials and tribulations to build a business that I'm really not interested in dating. I'm not. And now I'm not saying that to say that I don't look at women. Of course I do. I'm a man. That's a man's nature to want a woman, of course, sure. But those feelings of wanting to be with a woman, I got to put that on the back burner, because I have to look at things that I have to achieve right now, which is building a business, doing this, doing that, and most importantly, progressing spiritually. Let me just put that business stuff on back burner. Gaining spiritual ground, first priority, number one. Then business stuff, secondary. So being that I am not up to snuff spiritually and otherwise, I can't deal with no woman right now. I got to focus on what's more important. Spiritually, first, I have to get myself up with his help. Second, I got to build a business. And the more rejection that I endure, the more I use that rejection to keep me motivated to build a side hustle and to share this inspiration with you, that, hey, you see a real person on this camera, letting you know that you can use negativity and the feelings and the memories of those past failed relationships to build a business. Because it's not the end of the world being that you're no longer with that person or you're not speaking to them anymore. It's not the end of the world for you. You should use those feelings to believe in yourself, question yourself. Am I going to let this keep me down emotionally and entrepreneurially and spiritually? Or am I going to use that to pick myself up, to really dig deep within myself, do the transformational work, and find out what hidden strengths I have in my heart and in my mind that maybe I can use my hidden strengths that I just recently discovered to start a side hustle, to stay consistent, to see how consistent I can stay with building this out the side hustle, and who knows, maybe use rejection to become a side hustle millionaire. You know, rejection got a way of making you really, really rich.
Really, really rich.
Really rich.
Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? So when you think that it's the end of the world because someone rejected you who you thought was going to be your soulmate, or someone that you had some little puppy feelings for, man, eat them feelings. Don't let that bring you down, because you know what? People who reject you, they love to see you stay down because they want to know they got that type of power or control over you. Man, you see, I did that to him. You see, girl, I did that to him. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. When you prove her wrong by leveling up, or ladies, when you prove that man wrong by you leveling up and you know, doing your thing, and he did you dirty, or even vice versa, whichever way, male or female, if a man did you wrong, or you know, or for the fellas, if the lady did you wrong, a person hates to see you level up without them. When you're doing better, that person who rejected you, believe me when I tell you this, people from 20, 25 to 30 years ago that you don't even talk to anymore, that rejected you from way back in the day, they're still keeping tabs on you through other people to this very day. They may not want to get back with you, but they want to know how you're doing without them. It may be somebody on your Facebook friend list that, you know, y'all had a mutual friend through, or somebody from, you know, on your Facebook friend list that you went to school with back in the day that might know that person that rejected you, and you don't know. Oh, wait a minute, I just saw that guy that I rejected back in the day on so-and-so Facebook list. Now I get to see an updated picture of him. He gained weight. Girl, I can't say nothing to him no more. Go on his page and see what he's saying. Send me his pictures. Let me see his pictures. What is he posting? The one who rejected you, they're still keeping tabs on you to this day through other people. And I'm saying that to say this. That could be another subliminal motivational tool that a person can use to build out their side hustle and really test themselves to see what they're made of. My nose is really itching. To see what they're truly made of. If you even think that someone that rejected you from back in the day is allegedly using someone on your Facebook friend list that y'all might have a mutual friend in to keep tabs on you, why not give them something to talk about? So, with that said, if you think that an ex or somebody that you briefly dated is snooping on you through someone else that's on your Facebook friend list, give them something to talk about. Start working on weight loss, losing weight. Start working on dressing better. Start working on changing the way you think. Start considering going back to college to get your master's degree or your PhD or your judicial doctorate or your I did say PhD, your judicial doctorate, or even your MPA, your Master's in Public Administration. Consider going back to school to get your EDD, your educational doctorate. Use that. Oh, I think so-and-so is keeping tabs on me. You know what? Let me use that as subliminal fuel quietly to level up even more. And if you haven't started a side hustle and you think somebody's snooping on you through someone else on your Facebook list or through a mutual friend online, that you think somebody keeping tabs on your profile, do something to make them talk, and do it because you want to do it. Lose weight, go back to school. Here's one. No. I started to do it, and you know what I was getting ready to do. That But you know what I mean. I was going to do that and say build a side hustle, but I'm not going to do that. Build a side hustle. A person, they see you building a business. That person who rejected you from way back when, who's potentially keeping tabs on you through a mutual friend online or through your Facebook friend list, when they find out that you're leveling up and you're doing good without them to this very day, 20, 25, 30 years later, their spirit, it bothers their spirit. It eats them up on the inside that you're still striving for excellence. You're getting organized with no delay. You're getting organized. You're doing so much better. And the person who rejected you, they will be bothered for the rest of their life. When they see you increasing your income from your side hustle, they see you leveling up, getting more college degrees, get the highest possible degree you can attain in college. Go shoot for the moon. If you can get your PhD and you have the financial ability to do it, do it. And even if you don't use your PhD, do it because you want to do it and not to get a job. So in other words, get your PhD, but still run your own business. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? Am I right? I say, get me good. Get your PhD if you're able to do it, to make yourself feel good because you are worth it. Not just to prove somebody to feel stupid because they rejected you. Do it because you want to do it, because you believe in you and you have what it takes up in here and in here to prosper in the uncertain game called life. And then after you get your PhD, you can build out another side hustle, helping people in YouTube videos and blog posts on ways to get how to get free money on the internet to pursue their degrees to get their PhDs. Think about how much passive income you can earn from Google ads and affiliate links inserted in those YouTube videos and blog posts, giving out free information on pointing people in the right direction online to apply for grants and other sources of free money to go back to college to get their PhDs. All because someone rejected you. It brought something out of you in here and in here. See, that's why you gotta watch who you reject. That's why you gotta watch who you treat. You gotta watch how you treat people, because you're gonna do that to the wrong person, and you're gonna really bring something out of the person you rejected, and then it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna eat your spirit up years down the line. When you think that person is washed up and they're done and over with, man, come to find out they're still breathing 20, 25, 30 years later. They're still breathing. They're still doing good. They haven't lost no steam. They got derailed for a minute, but then they back on track. They doing good. That's going to bother them. See? All right, I'm going to get up off of here. It's been about almost 55 minutes. So that's pretty much it. Don't let rejection bring you down, folks. It happens to everyone. When rejection happens, use those feelings to start a business. Believe in yourself. Don't go out there smoking weed. Don't go out there drinking, because you know what? That zaps your energy. Don't do that. Level up. Hit that cardio, lose weight. Nobody wants to see you somebody kick you to the curb and they see you doing good, you in shape, you got a college degree now, you doing good, you building out a business, getting ready to be a millionaire. You did this after I kicked you to the curb and I threatened you and I laughed at you for living at the YMCA, and I even allegedly screwed your friend. Oh, by the way, I even told you I'm in love with someone else. I'm going back to the past. You're still doing good. And you ran a 26-mile marathon in Colorado on almost an empty stomach, and then lost all that weight and got recognized by a billionaire? Who do you think you think you you fancy, huh? Be thankful for rejection, because the rejection, and I'm telling you this, rejection can make you a future side hustle millionaire. It's all in how you take it and use and employ the power of positive thinking and turn a negative from a positive. So with that said, I'm done. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you got something up out of it. And before you leave, please smash the like button. Anytime that you like, if you have something you want to say, if there's anything you feel I missed, or if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave your feedback in the YouTube comment section. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, please feel welcome to do so. This is Sean from Side Hustle Inspiration, where I inspire good working class people to change the history of their human thought process in going from employee to entrepreneur, or going from rejected and a former YMCA resident to a near future side hustle millionaire. It's never too late, regardless of age, lack of online marketing experience, or even if you don't have a college degree, it's never too late to start a side hustle and make $1 million online. All right, so this is why you need to stay tuned to this channel, because you got a real cat like me, straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn, telling it like it is. And I'm not telling you to buy anything, but if you want to check out some of those affiliate links in the YouTube video description, do whatever you want. I don't care if you don't buy a thing. Matter of fact, you ain't gotta buy nothing. Just watch the videos. You ain't even gotta leave comments. You don't even have to smash the like button. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I don't care. But thank you for watching this video. And I just want to thank all the females from the past. You thought you was too good for me. You rejected me. And you know what? I was hurt. I have to say I was, because I was young and naive, and you know, I was a player myself. I had my fair share of women. I did some rejecting myself, and I've been mostly rejected too. You know, light-skinned guys, not all light-skinned guys got it good like that. I'm one of them. I ain't got it like that. No, sir. But I'm glad I was kicked to the curb, because it really tested my faith to see what am I truly made of. It's not how many times you rejected or fall down, it's how many times you willing to get up and strive to become better. So thank you all, ladies, for all of my past female acquaintances for kicking me to the curb. Whether you judge me for one thing or another, you will never, I promise you, I don't care if you stand in front of me and I see you in the near future topless. I don't care if you stand in front of me topless talking about I want you back. Come on right now. You will never, I promise you, you will never, ever get a second chance with me, ever. You can't pay me. You can't convince me. There's nothing you can say or do. Nothing. Because I have strength to resist. I have strength today to tell a woman, not a woman, a female, no. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how built you are. I don't care how pretty your toes are. Your toes ain't richer. Because you think your toes is richer, you gonna have a man, you ain't gonna have this one. I'm talking to every female on the face of this planet, especially them high yellow ones too. All right, let me get on up off here. All right, stay humble and hungry, and learn to use rejection as a stepping stone to greatness. All right, never give up in the uncertain game called life. Audi 5000.